Hi guys, welcome back to another video. This is Troy from Cichlid Bros. In today's video, my brothers Quinn and Alec are going to join me as we discuss how to make your fish grow faster. We get asked this question all the time, so we're just going to put it all in one video. Before we dive in, make sure to hit that subscribe button. We really appreciate your support, and let's dive right in. So there are many factors to the growth rate in your fish, but I think the most important is your water quality. This means making sure that you have a cycled tank and that your nitrates remain low, and this will ensure a happy and healthy fish that will grow quickly. To keep your parameters in check, that means frequent water changes and even testing your water with an API test kit. In a tank of cichlids with little to no live plants, water changes might be required weekly or even a few times per week. I do anywhere from 30 to 50% water changes on my 180-gallon aquarium. I also try to vacuum out any fish waste that may accumulate on the sand. Having adequate filtration is also very important for your water quality. I think it's really hard to over-filter your tank, in my opinion. On my 75-gallon tank, I have a canister and a big hang-on-the-back filter. Great filtration and water changes are key when it comes to fish growth. The fresh and clean water will give your fish the best environment to grow, and it will reduce stress overall in your aquarium. Now I'm going to pass it over to Alec to talk about feeding.
Hey guys, Alec here. When it comes to growth, feeding and diet are important for a few reasons. First, you want quality foods and brands to ensure your fish are getting the best nutrients out of their diet. We like extreme and North Fin foods, but we also like to feed frozen bloodworms and brine shrimp about once a week. Just make sure to research the type of diet for your fish so you can alter your feedings accordingly. My predator haps need high protein foods, but if you had Mbuna for instance, you wouldn't want to overload them with protein. The last point around feeding is to make sure you don't overfeed. This sounds counterintuitive if you want your fish to grow fast, but overfeeding can lead to uneaten food and as a result, poor water quality. Due to this, make sure you have quality foods, but also don't overdo it when it comes to volume.
Hey, what's up guys, Quinn here. Another factor in growth rate is tank size. Almost always, the larger the tank, the faster the growth. My Green Terror is a perfect example of this. When we moved him out of a 30-gallon grow-out tank, he had a growth spurt in the 75-gallon aquarium. If you have fish in a grow-out tank, just be sure you aren't leaving them in the smaller tank too long, as it could stunt their growth and lead to health issues. Fish will continue to grow even if you have a small tank, so if you put an Oscar in say a 20-gallon tank, expect to have serious problems in a few months. You're likely to have stunted their growth and have an unhealthy fish on your hands. But if you start with a large aquarium, the growth rate will be greatly accelerated.
When getting the maximum size out of your fish, it's really important to consider their tank mates for a few different reasons. First, you want to make sure aggressive eaters aren't out competing and eating all the food while some of the other fish may get none. My Oscar here will try to eat every piece of food in the tank, so a larger scoop of food can let some of the others get that fair share if some of those pellets sink faster. If you have larger fish or bottom feeders, you may also want to consider target feeding with maybe a long pipe to get past some of those top feeders. The other consideration with tank mates is just aggression. If your fish are getting bullied or beat up by another fish, they are much more likely to eat less and get stressed out. A stressed fish can lead to a variety of problems, one of which could be disease. Something like internal parasites can cause your fish to eat less or just waste away in general if they have that parasite stealing nutrients. Long story short, just make sure you have appropriate tank mates so that you avoid these issues altogether. So even if you're doing everything we've mentioned correctly,
genetics can still have a huge role in growth rate. Take Oscar for example. It will certainly grow faster than a keyhole cichlid, just since their max size is so different. Genetics can also play a role in the nuchal hump that some fish get. My Green Terror, for example, developed that hump, which is something only males get, and genetics can determine how big that hump will get over time. However, there can be instances when a particular fish won't grow as large as their species typically can. Similar to humans, some fish will just grow larger or smaller than some of their species.
Lastly, patience is key when your fish are growing. Try to just sit back, relax, and enjoy the ride watching your fish grow. One of the most enjoyable parts of this hobby is seeing a tiny little fish reach its maximum potential. I actually got these predator haps at about 1 inch long, and about a year later, they're 5 to 6 inches, and it's been a great ride watching them grow. It's been a long wait, but I think it's worth it just to see the different life stages of your fish.
In summary, if you want your fish to grow faster, focus on water quality, diet, tank size, and tank mates. And lastly, just have patience. We hope you found that information helpful, and if you'd like to see the growth rate video we did on our Green Terror, check out this video here. Or if you'd like to see the growth rate video we did on our Severums, check this video here. Thanks again for watching, and we'll see you next time.